What if beating bosses wasn't about what you bring to the fight, but how barebones you can go and still succeed? This is the Downgrade, a series where I start geared to the teeth, then drop the crutches and keep the kills coming. No max gear, no excuses. Proving it's not the gear, it's the player. Deep beneath Gorok, sealed in the silence and ice, Duke sleeps. A once great commander of the Zeroshian legions, now bloated by betrayal, warped by hunger, and buried in the ruins of a forgotten empire. Centuries of silence have only sharpened his hunger, and now, woken by poison and ambition, Duke rises again, a fusion of military discipline and monstrous obsession. Most players enter this fight with overwhelming strength. Best in slot gear, thralls, and supplies packed to the brim. But that's not what we're doing here. Today, I face the Duke at full strength, and then, piece by piece, I'll start the descent. No max gear, no safety nets, and no turning back. Let's see how much power we can leave behind before the Duke devours us whole. Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Vince, and welcome to episode 4 of the Downgrade. Today we are killing the Duke, doing another DT2 boss today. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I do want to visit all 4 of them at some point, but we did Vardoris on episode 1. It was pretty good, so I'm hoping, Duke will be, kind of similar. So we're going to take a look at our armor and our DPS in a second, but Duke, you want to use a slash weapon. Scythe is best in slot here, so Oathplate is fantastic at Duke if you have it, and you pair it with any sort of slash weapon like an Emberlight, a Noxious Halberd, or a Scythe. Again, if you're not familiar with my videos, I basically have best in slot melee, especially for this kind of setup. So, Infernal Cape, Rancor, Ultor, you get the idea. Doing a quick price check. You're looking at very, very high. So, let's pretend we don't have the Scythe. It's 533 mil, and then you add the Scythe on there as well. You're looking at maybe like a 2 bill setup. So, pretty pricey, definitely not something that every player has, but we are going to use it for the first kill and then downgrade from there. So let's take a look at our DPS. It looks like we have a max hit of 84 with an 8.8 damage per second. The average time to kill is just under a minute, coming in at 57 seconds. So like usual, I'm going to leave that up on screen for you guys, and I'm going to show you an example kill. So I also suggest bringing some sort of spec weapon. I like to bring a Bandos Godsword, but a Warhammer, Voidwaker, or even like a Dragon Dagger will do fine. So this boss is pretty easy. You're going to want to just stand behind these pillars here. So either in this spot or this spot, depending on what side you're at. You obviously have to go get the potions as well. And he's going to attack you with the ice there as well. So just dodge that, do a little swing, and then continue to walk beside the pillar. That way you don't get hit from one of the attacks. And then if he does the little eye thing like so, you can actually come out and attack before he does his little ice attack. But the idea here is basically just stand like behind the pillar every time he does the ice, and then when he throws the little acid there, you're gonna want to run to the other side. So nothing crazy. I think for certain players he is kind of intimidating. I know even like when I started he felt somewhat difficult. I wasn't like great at PVM at the time, but even when I was starting he felt difficult, but once you get used to it, it's really not that bad. You are gonna take a little bit of chip damage as well, which is going to become a problem when we downgrade our gear and try to do this with less setups. But again, as you can see, he's nothing crazy. Fight duration was 1:12, so nothing crazy. We get some supplies, and he goes down real nice and easy. So I'm going to downgrade the gear pretty significantly, and I will see you back here in a second. Alright, back for kill number 2. We've downgraded our gear pretty significantly. I think we still have a pretty solid weapon with the Noxious Halberd, but I basically touched every other position. so, and slot that we have. So our Infernal Cape is now just a fire cape. The Oath Plate is now just a regular Helm of Natiznot with a fighter torso and dragon plate legs. We've downgraded our Rancor to an Amulet of Fury. The Ultor ring is a regular Berserker ring. Our Primordial boots are Dragon boots, and our Ferocious gloves are Barrows gloves. So let's take a look at the price check. If you remember, the last setup was about 2 bill. So this went down pretty significantly, down to just 64.5 mil. So much more affordable, and you're going to see the DPS and time to kill really isn't that much worse. So we're going to take a look. I'll pull this screen up so you can see the gear with the character a little bit better. And I'll get the DPS on screen here for you guys. So our max hit looks like it went down from an 84 to a 60. Our DPS went from an 8.8 all the way down to a 5.2. But as you see, the average time to kill really didn't change that much worse. It was 57 seconds. Now it's up to 96. So just over a minute and a half. Still very, very doable. And we're still going to take them down no problem. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to leave the DPS and average time to kill up as always. We're going to use our super combat. Oh, and I ditched the spec weapon as well. So we have thralls, which I honestly forgot about last time, but this time we're going to use them. But you're going to see it's really not too bad. So I will speed this up for you guys just a little bit, and we're going to see how the kill times compare. So I'll see you in a sec. All right, coming down to the end of the kill here, and it really wasn't all that bad, as you're going to see. Didn't eat any of my food, didn't have to use a prayer pot or anything. And our fight duration was only just worse than the last kill. I mean, last kill we had a minute and 12 seconds with a 2 bill setup, and we went down to 64.5 mil setup, and we killed it in a minute 21. So it's really not that much worse. You can definitely take this boss down even in just under 100 mil. So don't be intimidated by like the crazy gear. This boss is still super doable. So I don't have anything crazy, but I'm going to downgrade even more, and we'll see just how much you can get away with and still take him down. All right, back for kill number 3, and we're honestly not looking all that bad. So I downgraded our Noxious Halberd into an Abyssal Whip and our Torture to an Amulet of Glory. I also moved all of our armor down to Rune, so we're in full Rune, and our Bearer's Gloves are Rune Gloves. So kind of a Rune Warrior here with the Abyssal Whip. And then just for laughs, I didn't bring a defender, just to show you don't really need one if you don't feel like going and getting one. So we're going to downgrade this a lot more moving forward, and we're going to see just how far we can push the limits. But first, let's do kill number 3. We're going to take a look at our price guide. It was 64.5 mil. Now we're sitting at just under 10 mil at 9 mil for the setup. So nothing crazy at all. But let's take a look at the DPS. Looks like our max hit went down from 60 to 41. Our DPS went down from 5.2 to 3.4. And the average time to kill went up from 96 seconds to 143 seconds. So should take me about 2.5 minutes, which is just about double what it was last kill. So considerably worse, but nothing we can't handle. And we're going to drink our super combat and get the fight started like usual. So I am going to finish him off, see how long this takes, and we will go from there. I'll speed it up for you guys. Getting to the end of the kill here. This kill was definitely a little bit more of a task. It took a little bit longer. Mechanically, though, wasn't too bad. And looks like our time was 2 minutes and 41 seconds. So I did use 2 sips of prayer pot and 1 anglerfish, but even, I mean, it would have been tighter, but we definitely could have done this fight without any food and maybe just like 2 sips of prayer pot. So not too bad. Definitely a little bit worse. Definitely not something I'd want to grind this boss in this gear. But you can still kill it. The mechanics aren't overly crazy. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. So let me make this a lot worse, and we'll go from there. We're back for kill number 4. We have pretty significantly worse gear. I downgraded all of our rune armor to mithril. We no longer have a ring at all. Our berserker ring's gone because that gave quite a bit of strength, so I figured just get rid of it. Still no defender, and our abyssal whip is a dragon scimitar, and the fire cape is a team cape X, which doesn't do anything. It's just for style. So we're gonna do a little price check. We're looking at 3.6 mil. I'm curious if I mean, honestly, if we just get rid of the dragon pickaxe, we're looking at like a 1.8 mil like combat setup. So very, very cheap. Definitely can get the job done. Don't recommend grinding with it though. So let's take a look at our DPS for the kill. Our max hit is now a 33, down from 41. Our DPS went down from 3.4 to 2.3. And the average time to kill went up from about 2.5 minutes now to almost 4 minutes. So just under 4 minutes for the time to kill. So should be pretty bad here. But we're going to get the job done. So I'm going to sip my combat pot like usual, eat the potions to Duke, and get started. I will see you guys in a second. Alright, getting down to the end here, guys. Honestly, not horrible. I mean, you're definitely gonna take a little bit more damage. I made a couple mistakes during this kill. But other than that, I mean, other than just it taking like 3-4 minutes instead of a minute and a half, it really wasn't bad. As you see, we took him down. Mechanically speaking, it wasn't any more of a challenge than the last kill. And now he's done. That's about it. So Duke done. Took 3 minutes and 44 seconds for kill number 4, which wasn't too bad compared to the last 2:41. So added about a minute, but we got it done, and our gear is looking not the best. So I am going to downgrade this again, and I'll see you for kill number 5. Alright guys, back for another kill. We've downgraded our gear pretty significantly here. Got rid of almost everything. So we downgraded our mithril to steel, our glory to an amulet of power, and our dragon scimitar to an adamant scimitar. Now, funny enough, our supplies in our inventory, like all the potions and food, actually cost more than the gear itself. So I did a price check on the gear itself before I went for my trip, and it was just under 5K. So very, very bare bones setup here. It'll get the job done for the sake of the video, but obviously I don't recommend, using this gear to grind this boss or even really to fight it. So, but nonetheless, let's take a look at the DPS. It looks like our max hit fell from a 33 down to a 22. Our DPS is down from 2.33 to a 1.07, so just a little bit more than half of the last kill. And our average time to kill basically doubled. It was just under 4 minutes, and this one's just over 7 minutes. So it should take about 7.5 minutes give or take. I think because of the way the ticks work with this boss, it should be probably a little bit more. It's probably gonna be more like a 10-minute kill, if not longer. But yeah. And then for the sake of the video and the downgrade series, we are going to be using incredible reflexes and ultimate strength, along with protect from melee, instead of I did bring divine super combats just to speed it up a little bit. But other than that, we're gonna be using some pretty bare bones stuff here, actually. Alright. But I am gonna start the kill, and I will see you guys, whenever we get this done. We'll see how long it takes. I just wanted to add as well, since I'm mid-fight, mechanically speaking, Duke really isn't too bad. It's more of just the chip damage. Like, if your gear isn't good, but you know the mechanics, like, your real problem is just going to be the chip damage. But for most people who have, like, decent gear, it shouldn't be much of a challenge. You're going to be able to take them down pretty easily. Alright guys, 14 HP left on the Duke with our steel armor and Addy's scimitar. So should be finished off in a second here. Come on. The accuracy I think is really what does it here. I mean, you just don't hit. It just takes forever. Like, this kill definitely could have been worse, and it's gonna be worse for the next one. But there it is. I mean, 9 minutes and 29 seconds for the kill with steel armor and our Addy scimitar. That one was really bad, but I have a little idea to make it worse. So stay tuned. We're going to get into our final kill of the video and see just how long it takes. Alright guys, welcome to the final kill of episode 4 against Duke. Today we're going to be using Harry's Cutlass, which is a weapon I didn't know existed until today. I was kind of just browsing the wiki on Slash Weapons and came across it. Apparently it sits between like a black scimitar and a steel scimitar, and I doubt that just about anyone's used it, but it has that fun, quirky element to it that I like using for the final kills in my downgrade series. So we're going to be using Harry's Cutlass today. It costed just over 1k from Smith on the Mostly Harmless docks. If we do a quick price check, excluding the max cape, the supplies are going to really make up the bulk cost of today, coming in at around 250k, while Harry's Cutlass is just simply 1k. So again, we're not going to be using Piety in the final challenge. We're just going to be using incredible reflexes and ultimate strength with protect melee. So let's take a look at the DPS and compare it to last kill. So our max hit has dropped from 22 down to 20. The DPS has gone from a 1.07 to a 0.75, and the average time to kill went up from 7.5 minutes to just under 11 minutes. So by no means is this setup good whatsoever, but we're going to prove that it truly is the player and being able to kill the mechanics. So I am going to divine up. I'll eat my angler, I guess. And we will feed Duke, and we're going to see how quick we can kill Duke here. So I'm going to speed it up as usual, and I'll check in with you guys in a bit. about halfway through, and like, it's not great, but it could be worse. I just can't stand how infrequent I hit. I don't hit often enough at all. Huh? Finish it? Yes! Yes! I think I redemption like 4 times there. Oh my god. Oh, that definitely didn't need to be that ridiculous. But we got it done. I'm gonna run over here. And just like that. Oh my god. Oh, it was really tight at the end, but we got it done. So, there we go, guys. Just used Harry's cutlass to defeat Duke. No gear, no rings, armor, not even piety. So, this boss is definitely one of the most simple ones we've done so far. But you see, even if you like have really bad gear, it definitely challenges your abilities there. Having to redemption a couple times. So, oh my god. Oh man, 15 minutes and 42 seconds. That's got to be the longest Duke kill anyone's had. But anyways, guys, I'm going to call it there, and I will see you in the next episode later. The asylum echoes with silence, not because we crushed Duke with overwhelming power, but because we stood our ground, stripped down, cornered, and calm. No luxury of defense, no room to fall back. Just movement, timing, and the nerve to stay in control. Duke's reign ended not with a roar, but with quiet certainty. A calm storm dismantling centuries of rage. This wasn't just a battle with a demon. It was a trial of presence, a fight where panic meant death and silence meant survival. What's left of the Empire still rots beneath Gorok, but I walked through its last nightmare and claimed my victory.